What is up, YouTube? Back for another quick video on the 04 Mystichrome Cobra. Today we're going to be replacing this third brake light. Alright guys, so I had done a video a few years back about the vinyl overlay. You can see here that my third brake light, like so many others, had cracked, so I had glued it. I didn't do a very good job of sanding it down, so it was still a little raised there, unfortunately. And I got that Anchor Room vinyl overlay to try to cover it up a little bit. It's held up fine, and it's been all right for the past so many years, but I figured it was time to finally get a new third brake light. So unfortunately, these things are super expensive. It can go anywhere from $250 to $300 to find one. So I did find a knockoff one on eBay. So I figured I would do a review video on it. We'll go over the install of it, see how it operates, how it compares to the factory one, and see if it's worth it. All right, so this is how it came packaged. It just came in a bag, and it was packaged in a really flimsy box, which was pretty beat up. So I was concerned, but luckily everything wound up being okay. So I'll show you here. This is the whole assembly. So it's a complete replacement, has your whole harness, the grommets, everything like that. And then here is the light itself. So the few things that I did notice that make it a little bit different, right here it says Feberg. I guess that's their brand name. And it still has the DOT. And the only thing you can make it out is each LED you can see is labeled LED 37, 08, 18, so on and so forth. So all the LEDs are labeled in there, and then right here it's missing the little Ford symbol that you would get. But again, now this was $115 delivered to my door rather than $250 or more. So if you don't mind losing that little Ford symbol here on the lens, then it might be worth it to try to snag one of these. So we'll go over the install, we'll check it out, make sure it works and all the LEDs work, and we'll take it from there. All right, so first step, once you pop the trunk, here is your clip. You just shove your flathead in right there, give this a little twist, and you can unplug your harness. Now you can pull it down from the grommet, and we're gonna take the two screws out from the outside. Once you have the harness disconnected, get yourself a T15 Torx bit, and just take out your two screws. Once you have the two screws out, you can start removing your third brake light. Might be a little stiff. Just use a plastic prying tool. Just work it off these clips. And you have it out. So you can make out there's these little retaining bars right here that slide under the lip of your spoiler. So you got to try to be careful, being it's all plastic, but I used a plastic pry tool like this that has this 90-degree angle, and it made it a little bit easier. So just work it out as best as you can, and there's a couple little ones on the bottom as well, and just try to slide that out as gently as possible. Once you have that out, and open up your trunk, you want to push this grommet through to give you access. So once you push that one through, gently lower this back down. Now you got to try to just manipulate the one grommet through, which we have. Now we'll pull the second one. Grab the end of the pigtail, and now you've got the whole assembly out. So we'll get a side-by-side picture of the aftermarket one compared to the stock one, and then we'll get the new one installed. All right, so now I just gave it a quick cleaning, just clean up all the edges, and we're going to install the new light. So what you want to do is find that hole there. You can make it out a little bit, feed the pigtail through into the trunk. Turn that sideways a little bit. Feed that one through to the trunk. So grab it, give her a good wiggle. Until you can tell she's all seated. Now, once it's seated, we're gonna put this one in, tuck this. You're gonna have that grommet seated in there, nice and flat. This in from the bottom first. Try to get it as centered as you can. Slide that in like so. She lines up nice. Now we're gonna get our two T15 Torx bits. Put them back in and make sure to not make them too tight. Now, you can see there is a little bit of wiggle room here, a little bit of play. So you want to get this where you think it's as centered as possible. Then you're just going to snug it. Make sure not to make it too tight so that we don't break one of the tabs, which is the reason we're replacing it. Now your last step, just plug in the harness. All right, guys, so as you can see, we are all good. That was the whole install. Took about 15 minutes from start to finish. So I hope this helps anybody who is curious about buying a $100 eBay third brake light and saving yourself some coin. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them below. And thanks for watching.